Flosstube. Good morning. Pam, stitching between the lines. Today is August 17th. It's a gray Friday morning. We need rain really bad, although some areas around here have flooded horribly. People lost their homes and that kind of thing, so it's very sad. But up here where I live on the top of the hill, where runoff isn't so much a problem, we need rain. So anyway, I am attempting to make a video that's only 15 minutes long so I can upload it directly from my iPad and maybe not turn it into a 24-hour production because I have a specific purpose for today's video. First, though, I'm going to show you my farmhouse Christmas progress because this is about to get put away until the next one comes out. I keep forgetting to show this. I love thread palettes. Love them. So I have this one. Let's see. Which I just think is really cute. I can't remember where I purchased it, but I did buy it somewhere. And this kind of pattern, Farmhouse Christmas, has few enough colors that it's easy just to put them on here and not worry about what their tag is. But it was really getting to be a jumble of threads in my bag because there's multiple skeins of each. And what I do is I put the whole one on. That's what's right here. I put the whole skein on. And then when I'm working from apply or then it goes on in a second hole. So one of the things that I like about a thread palette, this is already. See how easy it is to go beyond 15 minutes because I'm rambling about things I had no intention of talking about. It needs to have big enough holes to stick the thread through. I have seen quite a few that the holes are so tiny, like this little teeny guy up here, you can't really get a folded over thread through there without a lot of struggle. So anyway, there's that. This was still in my bag. Usually when I finish and show you, I take them downstairs waiting to be finished, and I've made zero progress on that finishing. So this is in my bag. I'm guessing I probably showed it. This was month 6, the tree farm, and the quilt block that I've just been doing. There's 8 quilt blocks. Lynette of Homesteading on the Home Front. You have to be a watcher of hers to see where she gives you these. She really wants them to only just be for viewers, so you have to go watch and see where she creates these and talks about them and explains them somewhere in early 2018. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, so there's 8 of them. So in sequential order, I did number 6 along with block 6. And I finished this one. This took me forever to finish, and not so much that it took me a long time to do the block, but we had company and moved my daughter and more company and things, kids and significant others, and we like to go do some other things when they're all here together. So usually I don't get any stitching done. So what I ended up doing is for all the remainder of everything that's to come, I outlined everything so I could just do that mindlessly. So it makes me happy to know that my next 2 blocks, I'm already all boxed in and ready to go. So there's this one, and it's related quilt square. And then I mentioned before that in September I will be going away a couple times, and that means very little stitching time. So I have a fuzz on here I'm trying to get off. I did the quilt block 8, the 8th one in the lineup. I did a little bit of it in July and the rest this month. I'm trying to be able to see what I'm showing you at the same time that I'm showing you. So quilt blocks are done. So all I have left to do are the last 2 squares of Farmhouse Christmas. So that is nearing an end. The only other thing I have been working on is something I'm going to show you in a minute, and Let Freedom Ring. And I'm just saving that until that chunk is done. I have almost the building is done. I showed a picture on Instagram, I think, when the building was done. The trees are done. And the top right-hand corner, if you're facing it, is done. And I'm finishing the top left-hand corner. So that is moving along. I had several... lots of days, lots of times when I didn't work on that one at all. I don't know. I think I've been doing it for a couple months. I'll have to look back. And the other thing, the whole point of this entire video is this. a project that I did that wasn't even in the lineup. It wasn't in the works. It wasn't even thought up until the month of August came. And I mentioned in probably my first video that it's my grandmother who taught me to stitch. My grandmother taught me when I was about 7 on a piece of gingham to follow the square and make an X. So doing that for my 8th birthday, I got my very first embroidery, like crewel embroidery kit, and it's the path was made clear from there on. She's also who taught me to do counted cross stitch when I was in high school. We went and my sister and I went and spent some time with them in the summer, the year I was 17, between my junior and senior year of high school, and counted cross stitch was pretty new. It was around 1980, not to give away my age. And it was pretty new. We went to a hobby shop, and there was like one display case of books, display rack, and she had us pick out something, and then we spent days just sitting around the kitchen table doing that. Again, the path was made clear. So anyway, my grandmother, who to me was, I was the first granddaughter. I know I was always special to her, and she was always special to me. She died a few years ago. She was 92. Today would be her 100th birthday. So I wanted to do a little something in honor of her, who taught me my love of sewing. My grandmother was a fabulous seamstress, always sewing, always making something. She never took up quilting, although I do have a quilt, pieces of a quilt she bought. She must have been about 17. She ordered a kit for an Ohio Star quilt from out of the newspaper, I think. And she started it all by hand, and she didn't get very far, and she never picked it up again. And she gave me that. At some point she gave me that, and I have that, and I framed it in a along with some other mementos in one of those shadow box frames. So that's probably more than I'm gonna get involved in showing right now. Anyway, when I realized this was her 100th birthday month, I wanted to do something to honor her. And so I went and hunt online for a pattern that reminded me of her. My grandmother loved birds. She loved flowers, sewing. I don't know. Anyway, antiques. She was a big antique. She was an antique collector. I found this pattern, and it is Springtime Messenger, and it's by Brenda Gervais. And I know it's going to be a little glary. It's not a rich and deep color photo, as it shouldn't be, because a lot of antiques get a little dull, a little dirty, a little faded. This reminded me, first of all, when they lived in a house, a brick home. They built the house and moved in when I was a year old, and it was the most beautiful place ever. It was just beautiful. And on her bedroom window ledge, a robin built a nest, and I was about 5, and she called me into her bedroom to come and see, and she showed me the nest that had eggs in it. I just remember that being a really special moment, because she only showed me, we lived, I don't remember where we lived at that time, 5 hours away, I'd say, at least 3, 4, I don't know. And she told my mother on the phone one day to pass along to me the message that the eggs had hatched, or something about the eggs, or the baby birds had left the nest, or whatever. And the illusion that was presented to me as a 5 or 6-year-old is that she did not explain to my mother what that meant. She said, give Pam this message. And so when my mother gave it to me, I just still remember how special it made me feel, that that was just like a little message just for me. Nobody else knew. Probably she told my mother, whatever. So anyway, after much hunting, I found this. And I whipped it right up. And I Chelsea and Priscilla-fied it. So, and this is just the start of where it's going. So I did it on some gingham, and it's a lighter gingham than what's called for. It's light khaki gingham. I have quite a collection of antique buttons, old buttons. Oh, let's get the glare off there. There we go. And I just thought it was so cute, and it just personified her exactly. So I'm looking around my house for something to mount this on when I came across this in a old desk that she had given me. The desk is old because It was hers. She got it. She told me my grandfather got it for her, like their first Christmas maybe. This old tiger wood desk drop. I don't know what you call it. The front drops down. Anyway, I had this in there, and I had taken this from their house when my mother and I went and packed up their house. As we're collecting all the wares and the things that we want. And what I had absolutely no idea, I'm not going to show you a lot of detail there, but that's my grandfather's name etched in there. So this was his slate. He was a year older than her. He would be 101 this September. So I don't want to do anything that permanently affixes this. I don't want to glue a magnet. I don't want to glue anything or do anything. My intention is to adhere it to here. I tried yesterday with a strong needle minder, and a magnet will work through the slate. So I need to make a trip to Lowe's to get a good strong big magnet to put on the back. And somewhere in my stash of stuff, I have magnets that are thin, and they're about the size, smaller than an index card, but in that general idea, to adhere to the back, where I have laced it and glued the ruffled it, glued it, the whole thing. So my intention is to adhere it here. I want to do like this, but we'll see, because whimsical doesn't strike me as my grandmother's style. So anyway, we're on to 12 minutes, and I still haven't come to the exact point of this whole video. I have assembled a kit of the exact same thing for a giveaway. And in here I have another copy of the pattern, so it's not what I stitched from and then stuck in a bag to give you. All the threads, which are in a jumble. I did not have 2 of the threads, and so I kept pulling them out to compare it to DMC colors. And the color, for example, I didn't have, I forgot what color it is that goes there, light khaki, but I used parchment, matched perfectly. And I didn't have whatever was in the vine, and DMC, that was fine, no variegation there. I struggled a little bit with the urn that the flower is sitting in, because the 2 colors that it is stitched in are so similar. You can see a little bit of a difference there. But this one that the urn is in has so much variegation that it really matches the color of what's in there. You see the heart and the little things. So I was in and out and putting it in and taking it out and trying all kinds of things, and what I ended up doing is on my Mountain Mist, I ended up cutting the dark parts of the thread and only using that. So there we go. Anyway, I'm trying again, 15 minutes. Also in here is a piece of fabric. And on here is a needle minder. Amy from Down Sunshine Lane sent me some needle minders. She knew I was doing this as a giveaway. And she sent me 3. One for me, one to give away with this, and another to give away in another video. So we'll watch, and that'll come up. And then I have packaged up some buttons. So everything's here. You just need to follow the rules of a giveaway. You know it. Don't say the words. We don't say giveaway. Causes too many problems. Let's just do like we've done before and just say me please in a comment, obviously. And that's all, right? Me please. Make sure I have contact information. I really will feel terrible if I have to chase somebody down to give them a gift. My grandmother's birthday gift idea. So do that. And then one more thing, a shout out that I forgot to give last time. I had every intention on giving it. You need to go find this Flosstuber. I haven't heard anybody shout her out. Lisa Abby's Needleworks. Let me just show. There's something else written there. Lisa, like Lisa spelled. Abby, all right. The glare is working against me. Abby is ABBEY_S Needleworks. Another Ohio girl. Go give her some love and check her out.